guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're having an amazing day wherever you are. Today's projects are a little bit different than my traditional ones. These are going to be aesthetic DIYs. I feel like these projects are a little bit more on the viral, trendy, quirky, funky side, if you will. So I thought this video would come at like a perfect time to give you guys some inspiration for maybe your own DIY decor, or these are great gifts for your friends, your family, kids, nephews, uncles, aunts, whatever it might be. I think these are perfect DIY Christmas gift ideas as well. Now I saw my friend Jen over at Generation DIY do a video very similar to this where she created aesthetic DIY decor, and I absolutely loved her video. It was just so entertaining to watch. Oh my gosh, I also forgot to kind of mention that if you're wondering why I have barely any facial hair right now, it's because I shaved my face for my Halloween costume. I literally stayed at home, but my roommate and I were like, let's dress up. We could stay at home, have a cocktail. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And that is exactly what we did. I was Jack Skellington, as you can see right here. It's like a painterly Jack Skellington. I actually thrifted the suit, painted it on there. It was really cute in the end, and I got a couple of fun photos, but that's why my face is shaved and my hair is so long at the moment. Now I have 4 projects for you guys, and a lot of these projects actually came directly from you. I always check my Instagram DMs, and a lot of these projects have been sent to me countless times over the past couple of months to just ask me to recreate them on my channel. So that is exactly what I'm here to do for you guys today. And if you are not already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I post brand new home decor and DIY videos every single week, and I have a super exciting video at the end of this week for you guys as well, which is gonna be a lot of fun. It's actually a collaboration, so I'm pumped for that. But yeah, I guess we can just go ahead and jump on into today's projects, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but let's get started. Resin crafts have been so popular lately, so I knew I wanted to create something with resin. I found this incredible one on Amazon. It's non-toxic, it's bubble-free, and I'm also going to be using a couple of these molds as well, which are perfect for little coasters and some dried flowers, which I also found on Amazon. All the products will be linked below for you guys. But what you're going to want to start off by doing is actually pouring out equal parts of your resin and your hardener. So I just used 2 different cups to make sure that I have a very similar amount, and these red solo cups are actually quite nice because you can use the lines on the inside kind of as a gauge for the marking of the resin. And once those are all measured out into their cups, you're actually going to want to pour one of the cups into the opposite one to make our resin mixture. So just make sure that you try to scoop out as much from the cup that you're working with and pour it into the opposite cup. That way this is properly stirred, and you're going to want to stir this for about 3 minutes, and make sure to wear gloves and also stay in a well-ventilated space or use a mask when working with resin, just to ensure that you're not breathing in any of the fumes or you're touching the material. And then what I wanted to do was add a little bit of glitter. So I found this one in my stash. It's a gold glitter. Now I thought that what I added here was a small amount of glitter, but I added so much. I don't know why I thought that I added a small amount, but I added a lot. So when you are working with glitter and resin, make sure to start off small and kind of increase from there, and don't go dumping in a huge amount like I did, because I had a ton of glitter in mine, but it ended up looking incredible. So next what I did was I actually poured like a base coat of resin in the bottom of each of the coasters, so just something that would allow my flowers to stick as I place them in, and I dropped in my dried flowers. Now of course you could dry your own flowers if you want to, but this project was like very last minute in my head, and I just wanted to go ahead and order some. So I ordered these ones, and I'll link them below for you guys, and I kind of just randomly placed them around the resin coaster, and then I topped off the coaster with another layer of resin. Now your flowers will move a little bit because it's such a liquidy consistency, but you can go back in with a toothpick or a wooden dowel or whatever you have on hand just to kind of maneuver your flowers and leaves back into their position. You're going to want to let this cure for about 24 hours, and once they are cured, it is so satisfying taking them out of the mold. So you're just going to pop them out. They super easily come out. As you can see here, they're so shiny, sparkly. They're just really fun, unique coasters. And I couldn't just stop there. I needed to add a border of brass paint, so I picked out my gilding paint from Craftsmart, which I love using, and I just grabbed a dainty paintbrush to paint the edges of all of my coasters, and I feel like this just really finished them off. It gave them kind of like a completed border, and also overall just made them look like they were dipped in metal, which just elevates the overall look of these coasters. So have fun with these. They're super cute and fun. This next project is the definition of vibey for sure. We are going to be starting off with two 2-liter bottles. Now, my friend James actually has a lot of these in his music room. They're like hanging up clouds that flicker different lights. They're so fun and unique and different, and I think they're perfect for a kid's room as well. So what I started off by doing was actually cutting off the top of both of my 2-liter bottles, and I'm using one of these battery-operated string lights. I don't know why I could not say that. Some battery-operated string lights, and I'll link the exact ones that I used below, but you're just going to want to shove these inside of one of your bottles, and then go ahead and place your second bottle over the top and kind of maneuver these into each other to create this long tube shape. This is going to be kind of the encasement for our lighting, and over the top of this we're going to be adding kind of our cloud material just to make it look nice and fluffy and like a cloud. So I went around the edges and added a little bit of hot glue just to secure those two bottles together and make sure that they did not come apart. And of course we're going to want to add a hanger for this, so I went ahead and I grabbed this thin white string here. Now if you have clear fishing line, that's even better, but the more translucent or the more thin that you can get your strand, the more it looks like the cloud's going to be floating. So I went ahead and I glued this onto the left and right side of the bottles, and then all you have to do from here on out is just cover your entire bottle with polyfill. And I used hot glue, just laid down a nice base of it, kind of pulled out clumps from my bag of polyfill and just placed them on top. Now do keep in mind that this kind of material is very easily to be ripped apart, so just kind of be careful with it and glue it together as much as necessary, but in the end it works out really simply and easily. And I also do think that the ones that are in James's studio were actually hairsprayed after to kind of make all the polyfill stick to itself, if that makes sense. I didn't end up hairspraying mine personally, however that's totally an option you can go for as well to kind of coat it and kind of make it a little bit harder as well and more durable. So I coated this completely, and then once you're done you could actually hang this up and just use the remote controller from the string lights to turn it off and turn it on. And it's a really fun nighttime lamp slash light that you could put in your bedroom or wherever you want to kind of style this. A few weeks back on Pinterest, I saw these super cute face trinket trays, and I was like, I could totally recreate something like this for sure, and I wanted to put my own little twist on it as well. So I went ahead and I grabbed some white oven baked clay, and I put it on top of some parchment paper with my rolling pin, which I use strictly for clay, and I'm going to be rolling this out into the shape of a face. You can kind of maneuver the clay with the pin however you want, so I rolled it out into this kind of like rounded diamond shape, and then once I got my generic shape, I just went around the edges and pinch them with my finger to create like a little lip on the edge, so it seemed more like a bowl slash tray as opposed to just a very flat piece of clay. And I love the way this ended up turning out. However, you can see that there's some finger indents in there. I suggest just rubbing them out with your finger. It kind of works really great if you just mush the clay and fill in those indents. And then once I was done with that, I wanted to create a thin little strip, like a little snake of clay, I guess you could say, which we are going to be using to add all of our details. So I created this really thin strip, which I then went ahead and created the first eyeball with, and the eyeball actually connected to the nose. I really love the look of like minimalism line art, especially when it comes to these kind of face sculpture shapes. So I went ahead, I added the nose and the eye, and then I popped in a couple of eyelashes as well, which I thought was a cute little addition. I kind of referenced this exact tray off of one I saw on Pinterest, which I will link below for you guys as well. And then I also wanted to go in with some lips, so I just created these off the top of the clay so I can shape them however I wanted them to be. And then I placed them on top, and you just want to slightly press these in just to make sure that the lips are connected to the base of the tray. And then I also added a little slit down the center as well. And once you're done adding these pieces, that was all I wanted to add to this tray. Super simple and minimal. You're just going to pop this in the oven for about 20 minutes or so, depending on the thickness of your clay tray. Pull it out, and that finishes off your tray. I had to save my favorite project for last. I've been wanting to recreate these kind of shaped candlesticks for so long, and I came across this video by Katie Bookser, and she shared a tutorial on how to do it, and I had to recreate them myself as well. So I'll link her tutorial for you guys because it was super helpful. But I started off by going ahead and grabbing a tall like vase or whatever you have that will fit your candlestick inside of there, and soak your candlesticks in warm water for 15 minutes. Make sure that it is not hot, but that it is just warm. And then once you pull them out of that water, they're going to be very, very malleable, and it's a very weird feeling because they're not sticky at all or waxy, nothing transfers to your fingers, but they're super moldable, which is amazing. So I just kind of molded this first one here, which was a yellow one, into a really cool shape, like a twisty squiggle, I guess you could say. I just thought it was a fun take on your traditional straight candlestick, and I love the way that these add just a little bit of personality to a space. And then going into style number 2, for this style I pulled it out of the water and I'm going to be flattening the wax down with a